What up, y'all? This is Michael from Only Human. Back with another topic I've always wanted to talk about, something that doesn't really make sense to me. And that's this idea of that music was better in my day and the current music is garbage. Something that a lot of people don't seem to understand, I'm talking about us so-called old heads, is that this happens every damn generation. It's like, how do you not realize that when you were a kid, your music didn't make sense to the previous generation, like your parents' generation? This has happened since as far back as you can go. And it makes sense because young people want to express themselves and what they're experiencing, what they're going through. And they want to have a sound and a look that is their own. It represents them. It's not really supposed to make sense to older generations. It's not speaking to them. It's not made for them. That's why it doesn't resonate with that previous generation. To say that music today sucks and it was great when I was a kid, your music sucked to the generation before. Just like the current music sucks to you. It's not made for the previous generation. How do you not recognize that this happens all the time? And how do you not recognize that the kids are not making music for you? It's not supposed to speak to you, and it doesn't. And it's almost like if it does speak to the previous generation, it's almost like they're not doing something right to represent themselves and what it is that they go through and feel on a daily basis. So I don't really understand why, like, some of us old heads do this. Like, I'm not going to go on record, on video, talking about how this latest country music album sucks. I don't typically listen to country music, not that I have an issue with it, but it's not going to speak to me because I haven't listened to it, throughout my life. So it doesn't make sense to me to say that, oh, this country album is garbage. Like, it's not made for my ears. It doesn't speak to me, and it's not going to. So it wouldn't make sense to me to call it garbage. Kind of like this Andre 3000 flute album. I know a lot of us as Black Americans can be kind of narrow in our thinking, but a lot of these people saying that this album that he made was garbage doesn't make sense to me. He's an artist and he expressed himself through music, as he always has. And if this kind of music doesn't, speak to you, then it wasn't for you. To say that it's garbage to me doesn't make sense. Like, that's like saying this country album that someone made is garbage. It doesn't matter if they made, previous music that spoke to you and that you liked it. They don't have to stay on that. People grow and evolve. And if they don't, I got to question them personally. Like, there's no growth. You're still making the same music you made when you were a teenager. I don't get that. So I understand growth in artists, and I understand that music changes. Music and culture and style and everything just evolves, and people want to express themselves. It's not always going to appeal to everyone else, even if it's the same genre. You listen to rock and roll growing up, but people, as they adopt it as their own, younger and younger generations, they're going to incorporate different things about it. They still love the genre, but they're going to do it in their own way, and it's going to speak to their generation. It may not make sense to the previous generation who enjoyed that same genre of music. It just makes sense. But, like, to say that the new music is garbage, I never really got it. It happens damn near every generation. It's not supposed to sound good to you. It's not really supposed to make sense to you. It's not speaking to you. So kind of, think about that when you want to speak out against the current music. But let me say, I grew up on hip hop, R&B, soul, things like that. I will say that rap now, it seems that it's a lot more narrow, as far as the beats and the subject matter. It did seem like there were different types of rappers, on different modes and everything before. And you could listen to what you wanted to listen to, but it was all on the radio and it was all popular. Also, I kind of feel that a lot of it is basically, genocidal, like our self-made genocide, and the music and the lyrics reflect that. That's my main issue with it. It started with my generation. I have to own that. NWA, that was my generation, and then you had all the people that came after them. I loved a lot of it, but I gotta be responsible for my group, my generation. It started with us, and now it's just kind of ridiculous, and we're kind of singing and rapping about our own self-made genocide, which is insane. That's my main issue with it. But how it sounds, I don't expect it to sound good to me. Some of it is cool, but for us old heads, and you listening now, if you're a younger person, you will be an old head eventually. Hopefully, you don't just get taken out somehow, or just anyway. You will eventually be an old head yourself, and the music that your kids' generation is making is not gonna. It's probably not going to sound good to you. It's not supposed to. They're not speaking to you. This happens every generation. Let's just kind of ease up on the whole music today sucks. If you want to continue with that, cool. But, maybe just think about the fact that, that's just the way it is. It's just the way things work. Things evolve and change, and each generation wants to express themselves to each other. But anyway, y'all stay safe and well and good and happy and all that. I'm Michael, only human. I'm out.